Hey, Solomon here, and this will be a review of Night 2 of AEW Fyter Fest 2020. In this review, I'll be giving my thoughts and opinions on all 5 matches that were on the card of this pay-per-view. So, I will then begin with the first match of the card. So, the first match of Night 1 was the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. Adam Paige and Kenny Omega were defending the tag titles against Private Party with the company of Matt Hardy. Private Party earned the opportunity for a tag team championship by defeating Santana and Ortiz in Night 1 of the pay-per-view. The match was underway and it was Omega and Quinn who were the first 2 men in the ring. They both shook hands with each other before the action was in progress. Both men had each other in a combination of armbar moves and Quinn performed the Hurricane on Omega. Omega was going to work on Quinn and made a tag to his partner Paige. Paige and Omega both delivered edge chops to Quinn, then delivered a set of double team moves on him, and then Quinn managed to switch momentum and deliver a drop kicks to both men. Quinn then made a tag to his tag team partner Casi to perform a double team move on Omega. Then Paige powerbombed Quinn into the small crowd at ringside. Casi then missile dropkicked Paige over the fan fencing rail. Then he went up to attempt a senton atomic from the ring apron to Paige. He attempted it again from the ring and Omega countered it. Omega and Casi were delivering right hands to each other. Paige then went for a cover. And Quinn only finished kick out. But when it came towards the end of the match, Omega and Paige hit a variety of double team moves on Private Party. Then Paige went for the cover on Casi. 1, 2, 3. Paige and Omega are still your AEW Tag Team Champions. So, I thought this was a fairly okay match, as I saw some nice high-flying moves. But I'm not calling this the best match of the pay-per-view, but it was still a decent match to watch overall. The second match of Night 1 was the singles match between Lance Archer with the company of Jake Roberts going up against Joey Janela. When Archer came down to the ring, he threw Sonic Kiss into Janela, and then the match was officially underway. Archer then went on to work on Janela outside of the ring and threw him into the fan fencing row. Then both men were back into the ring. Janela managed to switch momentum by performing a missile drop kick and an arrow move off the top of the turnbuckle to the outside of the ring on Archer. Both men were back in the ring and Archer performed a knockdown on Janela. The momentum of the match was in Archer's hand as he went to work Janela delivering some edgy chops to him. So at this point, Archer was in cruise control of the match until Janela delivered some chops of his own into Archer. Archer hit a counter move on Janela and went for the cover only for Archer to kick out. Jake Roberts was attempted to involve himself into the match, but the referee was not having it as he instructed him to not interfere in the match. While that was happening, Janela hit a backdrop aerial move to Archer, and then Sonny Kiss hit a 450 splash on him as well. Janela went in for the cover only for Archer to kick out. Janela was pushed onto the top turnbuckle when Archer intervened by performing a devastating blackout move from the ring apron to the table set up outside of the ring. He then brought Janela back into the ring and immediately went for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Last Archer is your winner. So I thought this was a pretty fine match. It was not very interesting and in a great way, although there were some notable spots like when Archer put Janela through the table. So I thought this match was fine overall. The third match of Night 1 was an 8-man tag team match between FTR and Young Bucks versus The Butcher, The Blade, Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. The match was underway as both teams hit a combination of edgy chops to each other, comprising of FTW against the opposing team. The tag was made between the team of FTR and they applied a double team move on the opposing opponent. Then the opposing team made the tag his partner and took over from him. He went on to work on his opponent thoroughly. One half of the Young Bucks were now in the match and executed selling moves on his opponents, including a Hurricane off the top turnbuckle to one of his opponents. At this point, it was a short piece of fast-paced moves between both teams, including a flying crossbody from one of the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks and FTR combined with each other to perform a double team move on the opposing team and went for a cover only for kick out at a near fall of 2. Another notable part of the match was when Pentagon or his other teammate executed a running powerbomb to one of the Young Bucks from the inside to the outside of the ring to all of the participants in the match. When it came towards the closing stages of the match, Pentagon combined with his teammate to perform a double team move on his tag team partner and went for the cover. 1, 2, 3. The team of Butcher, The Blade, Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. are the winners of this tag team match. So yeah, I thought this was a decent tag team match and I liked the fast-paced spots they done during the match and I found it very entertaining to watch. So yeah, this was quite a decent match to see. The fourth match of the card of Night 2 was a 2-on-1 handicap match. Neither of us was going up against a tag team making a debut in AEW by the names of Kenzie Paige and Killian King. It was interesting to note that the AEW Women's Champion Hirako Shida and Penelope Ford were in the crowd watching this match. The match was underway and Lita was unsurprisingly in full control of the match. She executed a collection of moves on her opponent, and then the other member of the tag team came in and attempted to make an effort on Lita for her to capitalize. She then hit a couple of moves on her opponents until she went for the cover and the match was officially over. So after the match ended, she grabbed the mic and declared that she was going to be working under a manager to help her win the AEW Championship, Women's Championship, should I say, which is what she's primarily aiming for. I mean, I have no idea who her manager is, but I don't expect it to be a surprise. It just depends on who it is, I suppose. The fifth match of the card was a triple threat tag team match between SoCal Uncensored and versus Dark Order. The match was officially underway, and Christopher Daniels was starting the match against one opposing member of the Dark Order. They executed a range set of moves until Daniels decided to tag his tag team partner Kazarian into the match. Kazarian went on to work on his opponent, which included using an armbar move. He then decided to tag in his partner Scorpio Sky. Scorpio then went for a cover on his opponent, and then he managed to kick out. Then Colt Cabana was tagged into the match of the Dark Order. Cabana went on to work on Scorpio, then Brother Lee was in the match, and then Colt Cabana was tagged in to make the cover on Christopher Daniels. 1, 2, 3. The Dark Order are your winners of this match. So, yeah, this was a very brief match, and in all honesty, I didn't really find it compelling, to be honest, so I found it a bit boring in some sense, so, you know, they could be better than that. Okay, so this was the final match of the card of night 2, and the main event was the new guy, Orange Cassidy, with the company of best friends going one-on-one with Chris Jericho in the company of Santana and Ortiz in a singles match. There's been a somewhat eccentric build-up to this particular rivalry, as Cassidy has been basically just standing still like a statue most of the time, and Jericho is the one blaming him for all these faults he's accusing him of. So the match was officially in progress, and Aubrey Edwards was the referee of this match, and both men started to stare at each other briefly, and Cassidy had his hands in his pocket while executing a set of moves on Jericho. Then he done a diving body from the inside to the outside of the ring to Jericho, and both men started brawling outside of the ring. Cassidy then threw Jericho into the final fencing rail. Then both men were back in the ring, and Jericho had Cassidy applied in the walls of Jericho. Jericho then went for a cover on Cassidy, or the kick out of a 1 count. And Jericho was then back in control of the match and does some edge drops on Cassidy. Cassidy then went for a cover on Jericho, only for a kick out. Then it was just a combination of pins from Cassidy on Jericho. First he managed to kick out of all of them all. Jericho then had Cassidy in an optimal stretch move. Then both men delivered right hands to each other. Out of nowhere, Cassidy hits a super kick on Jericho, then he went for the cover, only for Jericho to kick out. Cassidy was then in great position for a hit a frog splash on Jericho from the top turnbuckle and proceeded to go for the cover on him, only for the kick out. Cassidy was in control of the match as he went for a diving DDT on Jericho, and he made a cover, only for Jericho to kick out. Cassidy attempted a move on Jericho, only for him to counter it into a walls of Jericho. Cassidy countered that into an inside cradle, and Jericho kicked out to 2. Ortiz tossed a bottle of orange juice at Cassidy. The best friends went over to Santana. Ortiz started brawling with them. Then Jericho used a bat on Cassidy. When the referee was observing the brawl outside the ring, Jericho hit the code breaker, went for a cover, and Cassidy surprisingly kicked out. When it came towards the end of the match, Jericho hit the Judas effect on Cassidy, then went for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Jericho was your winner. So my overall thoughts on this match was pretty okay. It was much better than I expected, as I saw Cassidy deliver some impressive moves in the match. So I thought this match was pretty good overall. So I thought this night of the pay-per-view was pretty okay, but not as good as night 1. So I would say my favorite match of the night was Cassidy against Jericho, and my least favorite was SoCal Uncensored against the Dark Order. So stay tuned for more reviews, as my next review will be for the WWE Extreme Rules 2020 pay-per-view, which I should do around 2 weeks. So thanks for watching, and bye.